history's embrace. Captain's quarters sets the pace with Captain Mayhem at the helm. A voyage of knowledge, a story to round. Captain's quarters weekly delight, where history's treasures take flight. Led by Mayhem, Longwood, and Joe, they explore the past, row by row. Navigator, Longwood charts the course, guiding listeners to knowledge's source. Cartographer Joe, with maps in hand, unveils the secrets of time.
Good job, Davey. I liked it. Very good.
I like the new one.
Yeah. There we go. I see Jim, and I see Zachary, and I see Black Ball. Black Ball's from over in Panama City. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Captain's Quarters podcast, and I have everything on a piece of paper tonight because we've been doing all kinds of things, and I'm technologically not savvy. So this is episode 184, and it is May 5th. And I do have a light over here so I can see what I'm doing, even when I don't know what I'm doing. Look at that. There we go. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, another episode. And look who's sitting next to me. Yep, it's not an illusion. It's Mandy. She is here from Utah. She'll be leaving in the morning to go down to Orlando, right?
Yes.
All right. She's got stuff to do in Orlando. We'll talk about that more in a bit. Davey, how do we let everybody know how to find our show? There it is, the YouTube channel, Captain's Quarters Podcast. Like us, subscribe to us, and follow us. That's all three of those. Davey, before I forget, I'm going to add this to you. Let's rebuild that one a little bit. And since you made a new intro, use our cartoon characters in that one and put the like, the follow, and the subscribe over them as word bubbles, okay?
Sure.
All right. You can still put all that in there, but do the other one too. I thought about it last week, and then I never remembered to tell you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're making changes. Mandy's been here trying to teach me how to do everything, and I'm not doing very well. I'm probably a D student at best right now. So we'll see. I see Ransom Mayhem is on board too. Very good. And Michael Dodson. I think I'm going to have to give him some congratulations here shortly. And there's Miss Jean, a new member, and Will, the historian. Laura, Abigail, and I are watching. Davey, did you get the baby picture? I sent you 3 pictures. One of them was the baby picture.
I got the 2. Let me see.
All 3. Did I hit send on it? Yep,
You
I
only
did.
You only sent me 2.
Where in the
I
heck?
got the baby somewhere.
Oh, I didn't hit send. Dumb me. There it is. There it is.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah, pop that up there if you can real quick so everybody can see. There is my grandbaby, Abigail Hope. And Davey's going to pop her up there real quick.
There
We
is.
can grab out of there.
There she is.
All right. And I'm just going to give my son and his wife, Laura, and I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Remember that. Because that is the most beautifulest and peacefulest baby you're going to see. And it's all downhill from here.
Take lots and lots of sleeping photos because they're fun for later.
Hey, but you never know. All right, let's see. On the agenda today, we always do a little bit with Mini Mayhem. So why don't we just pop that up there and see what the joke of the week is with Mini Mayhem? We had some fun with him over the weekend, didn't we?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yes, all right. So.
Ahoy, mates. Mini Mayhem here with Joke of the Week. Sponsored by our good friend Travis Rami of Salt City Comics. What do you call it when a pirate steals during a storm? Think about it, and I will give you the answer at the end of the show.
It just dawned on me. I know exactly what was going to happen tonight. This joke is so bad. Davey forgot stuff. Davey was supposed to be here with us tonight, but he forgot a couple of things technologically, and he had to run back to the house. He just decided to stay over there. I know why now. That joke is so bad that if he was here, we would both killed him. I see PJ Nagel is on, and I see Marissa Weber. Hello there, Marissa Scorsher. Yeah, something like that, right? Okay, so since we've done that now, we'll come back to Mini Mayhem towards the end of the show. It is time for This Week in Nautical History. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's sponsored by Ancient City Sirens. And if you want a good dance troupe, you got to call up Miss Gina. Miss Gina was out there with us doing photographs over the weekend.
Yes.
And she was a mermaid and a pirate. And we got some really good pictures. We'll probably have most of those pictures ready to show off starting next week. But some of the work we did over the weekend was that opening that Davey put the live action of us on. And it came out pretty good, I thought, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think it looked really, really good. So, Davey, let's go ahead with This Week in Nautical History.
We begin This Week in Nautical History on May 5th, 1908. U.S. Great White Fleet arrives in San Francisco. May 6th, 1962. First nuclear warhead fired from Polaris submarine, the Ethan Allen. May 7th, 1915. RMS Lusitania sunk by German submarine off the southern coast of Ireland. 1,198 lives lost. May 8th, 1942. Aircraft carrier USS Lexington sunk by Japanese air attack in Coral Sea. May 9th, 1766. British explorer John Byron, sent to explore the South Atlantic, arrives back in England after circumnavigating the globe as captain of HMS Dolphin. May 10th, 1797. First U.S. Navy ship, the United States, is launched. And finally, on May 11th, 1841, American Charles Wilkes lands at Fort Nisqually in Puget Sound. And that was This Week in Nautical History.
Hey, very good, very good. Always good stuff that Davey puts together in these nautical histories. Now it's time for Quote of the Week. You got your glasses? Do you need glasses? Can you see the screen?
No, it's the lights.
Can you see the screen
I
now?
can see the screen.
Good, because I've got a surprise for you in a minute. Quote of the Week, Davey. Who is our Quote of the Week with sponsorship of Spyglass Travel, ladies and gentlemen? If you want a good walking tour of St. Augustine, call my friends at Spyglass Travel, Kevin and Angie. They do a wonderful tour of the oldest city in the nation, and it's a good cardio workout because it's at least an hour of walking around the city. It is well worth it. So what is our quote this week, Davey? Courage is not having the strength to go on. Pardon me, it is going on when you don't have the strength. That's a good one. Theodore Roosevelt. I like that one, Davey. Very good. And of course, now we go into 8 bells. Here's a surprise. I'm going to let Mandy read 2 of them.
Oh, that'll be fun. We'll see how well I can see.
All right, sponsored by our good friends at Marco's Pizza. Boy, do they put on a good pizza. If you need some good pizza, they really do a fantastic job. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, let's see our 8. I'll do the first one. Ah, good. The first one just happens to work out well for me. Ruth Ann Buzzy. Who doesn't know or remember Ruth Ann Buzzy? An American actress and comedian. She appeared on stage, in films, and on television. She is best known for her performance on the comedy variety show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In from 68 to 73, for which she won a Golden Globe Award and received 5 Emmy nominations. Buzzy was featured as Gladys in many of the Dean Martin celebrity roasts from the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas, ranting about notable roastees, including Muhammad Ali, Frank Sinatra, and Lucille Ball. Buzzy was featured as a semi-regular on the comedy That Girl as Marlo Thomas's friend Margie Peterson. She was 88 years old. Can you see that one there?
Yep, Priscilla Marie Pointer. She was an American theater and film and television actress. She was widely known for her reoccurring 1981 to 1983 role in 44 episodes of the popular television series Dallas as Rebecca Barnes Wentworth. Pointer's appearances include Carrie, in which she played an on-screen mother of Amy Irving's character, The Onion Field, Mommy Dearest, Twilight Zone the movie, A Nightmare Before Christmas, Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, David Lynch's Blue Velvet, and Coyote Moon. She was 100 years old.
Wow, 100. Wow. All right. Charlie Scalise, an American actor best known for his portrayal of Thomas Horseface Bakusa, one of the stevedores and union members on the second season of HBO's The Wire. He also appeared in season 5 of The Sopranos as Coach Molinado. Scalise appeared on the other shows, including Homicide, Life on the Street, and Law and Order. He was 84 years old. And I'll give you the last one.
Louis Joseph Walker Jr., known as Joe Louis Walker, was an American musician best known as an electric blues guitarist, singer, and songwriter and producer. His knowledge of blues history is, reveled by his use of older material, and that is not what that says, yeah, it is, and playing styles. Under the emphasis of Bruce Broomberg and Dennis Walker, his debut album, Cold is the Night, was released in 1986. He began worldwide touring schedules, delivering 4 more releases in succession for High Tones, The Gift, Blue Souls, Live at Slim's, and Live at Slim's Volume 2. In 2013, Walker was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. He was 75.
Very good. And that's our 4, right, Davey?
That's it.
All right. We raise a toast. We give honor to those that have passed, to their fans, their friends, and their family. We give them all honor, give them 8 bells. That gives us a chance to jump right into this week in history. Davey, it's up to you.
All right.
Where does the captain take his hungry crew for a good lunch special? Why, Dick's Wings. Daily lunch specials even a pirate could afford. Why, look, a table filled with flavors and tastes for even the most discriminating of pirates. A great lunch and a great time is always had by all at Dick's Wings, St. Augustine, Florida, US 1 South.
We begin this week in history on May 5th, 1893. Panic of 1893 causes a large crash on the New York Stock Exchange. May 6th, 1994. Channel Tunnel linking England and France officially opens. May 7th, 2011. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, directed by Rob Marshall, starring Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz, premieres in opening weekend, makes $350.6 million. May 8th, 1945. German General Wilhelm Keitel formally surrenders to the Allies, represented by the United States, the UK, France, and the Soviet Union in Berlin. May 9th, 1914. U.S. President Woodrow Wilson proclaims Mother's Day. May 10th, 1869. Golden Spike driven, completing the first U.S. transcontinental railroad at Promontory Summit, Utah, and connecting the Central Pacific Railroad with the Union Pacific. And finally, on May 11th, 1940, New York World's Fair reopens. And that was this week in history.
I see that Will the historian has made a request. Abigail needs a pirate onesie. I have already begun looking for things. Believe it or not, I'm going to spoil this baby. I'm thinking mermaids too. What do you think? Mermaids and pirates. That will be it for her, I'm sure. So I did not do a shot across the bow, but I am going to put up an update. 2 weeks ago, I posted about how I have no problems if you protest, and I have no problems if we have a difference of opinion. But I do have a problem if you as a protester are screaming and hollering at little children, scaring them and making it a miserable experience for tourists trying to just walk from one part of St. Augustine to the other. That I have a problem with. When you start screaming and hollering at children, you have lost my respect. Even if I agreed with whatever it was you were protesting, you still have lost my respect, and I may not follow your side, and I may not support you. That being said, they took note. I'm not going to say it was me that caused this, but they did take note. And the protesters this past weekend, they put up fences to keep the protesters in one area and to keep them away from the tourists. At least that's the way it looked to me. I am sure I'm not the only one that made that complaint, but I do know that 2 of my posts got a whole lot of traction on Facebook. So if that is the case, then I am pleased. And the other side of it is this: if you want to protest, peaceful protests are peaceful. Screaming and hollering obscenities are not peaceful. Making threats are not peaceful. And obviously, carrying out threats is definitely not peaceful. Please understand, peaceful protests will get you much more support than screaming like banshees who have lost their brains. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Yes, Jim, you're right. It is every week. So I'm gonna here's an observation. The entire group of protesters show up exactly at the same time, and they leave exactly at the same time. They're organized, I will say that, but I'm not going to say anything else. They're just way too organized for it to be locals protesting. There are some locals out there. I recognize some of them, but not all of them. Doesn't mean I don't know everybody, or I do know everybody, but it sure seems to me that it's like a 2.5 hour protest and then it shuts down. Here's the other thing, though. They left a lot of garbage on the grounds of the fort. Didn't like that either. Clean up after yourself. All right. And Jim, you're probably right. They don't have a use permit. I can remember about 7 years ago, I was trying to take photographs on the grounds of the fort, and I had park rangers come and kick me off the grounds of the fort. I became belligerent about it, so I almost got myself arrested. But, well, guess what? They won, I lost. But I'm pretty sure that they don't have protesting abilities there with their whatever. Will, the historian says, we discuss in class when a peaceful protest is no longer considered a peaceful protest. And knowing the difference is very important. You're absolutely right. Calling names, if you're trying to present your point and you resort to name calling, screaming, and hollering, it means you have no other ammunition to support your cause. That's all it means, really. But, okay. So let's move on. On the horizon, we actually haven't been doing this segment right for at least the past couple of months, so I'm not going to worry about it tonight, which means that we have that much more time to talk to Mandy. And I do want to say a couple of things before we start. Davey, can you put up the, there you go. Thank you very much. There are the 12 2026 inductees into the Order of Leviathan. So in 2026, we will have the induction. And I say a personal congratulations to Captain Jack Gonzo, Ballast, AJ, Stink Post Steve, Commodore Nagel, BD McGee, Captain, he said it in our interview with him. Let me see if I get this right. Please don't help me. And I know he's watching, so I've got to be right on with this. Captain Boca Negra. If I got it right, put a thumbs up. If I didn't get it right, ignore it. Israel Hans, a good friend, Tommy Morefoot, Nita Treasure, Magpie, Krabby, the ship's cook, Sorsha Murphy. Actually, she's the one that I nominated. and Fiend Perkins. All of them are worthy members of the quarter. Omar is right there. Hopefully I got your pirate name right. I did it perfect. Good. Bueno. And that's about the only other word I know. I'm looking forward, Omar, to actually having rum with you when you come to, hopefully the induction will be in St. Augustine, but it hasn't been decided, so please don't quote me. But if it is in St. Augustine, I will definitely be there. If it's somewhere else, we'll have to make extra plans, so we'll see what happens. So congratulations to those 12 members. The 13th one will be decided by Tal DeRoy, the leader of the entire group, and he will make that announcement on 10 May. And there's already rumors, so we'll see what happens. On that note,
Sorcia's in there too.
yes, she will be there. Thank you again for your nomination. I was so honored and thrilled to be inducted into the order. It was well deserved. All of you well deserved. And I can tell you this. I don't know if I should. Almost all the ones I voted for made it. How's that? We'll just put it that way. It was a grand voting process this time. And with the help of Deborah Brusso up north, between her and I, we were able to make some really great videos to introduce you all to the order. And I know that Omar was one of them. I also know that Marissa was one of them. And Krabby the cook was one of them. I actually changed my voting a little bit after listening to those videos. There was a few that I moved out and a few that I moved in. The video interviews were amazing. It was a lot of fun. We have some new ideas for 2027, and we'll see what happens. So, on that note, our timing's pretty good, but look who's my guest here. Right? Look who's my guest here. Mandy. Davey, you had her all day, so I get her for a little bit tonight. So you are here because you have a real estate convention or a real estate training this week, right?
I have a real estate training in Orlando Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
And so you were telling me the person that does the training does it mostly based out of Orlando, which gets you a trip to Orlando.
Correct. So she lives in Orlando and she's with our corporate office. So I try to take advantage of her trainings because they're amazing for one, but it puts me out here.
And so Mandy fixed it so she could come here, and she got here yesterday at about 6 o'clock in the morning. And by 11 o'clock, we were downtown. First, we had breakfast at a really nice place. We actually met with the owners. I'll go ahead and give you this hint. The Modern Rose. It's a really nice little place to have breakfast. Did you enjoy it?
It was great. I said my daughter saw the photos and went nuts. So
we ate in one of the rooms that was a little bit too pink for me, but but the food was wonderful and the coffee was great. In fact, the coffee was excellent, and we've made inroads into that. And one of our Monday night shows will actually be on scene down in one of their rooms. They were very excited about the idea. So we're looking at doing a couple others. In fact, you were downtown today, and you may have made another good possibility for an on scene downtown also, right?
Yes, one of the local little shops, a new guy came in and bought it, and they make some of their own hot sauces there. And he talked to us about joining up onto the podcast one day and maybe helping do some other side projects with different things that line up with him to kind of help both of us.
Well, I think he's going to be on my list to go and see if we can get him to do support for Captain Mayhem's Talk Like a Pirate Day treasure hunt along St. George Street. I used to do that before COVID, and then we stopped, so I haven't done it for about 7 years. It's time to bring it back. So we're going to bring that back, and we'll be doing it on September 20th. September 19th is a Friday, so we're going to do this treasure hunt. It's a thing for the children. They show up in one location, they get all the paraphernalia, and then they have to go find, I think the last time we did it, 15 locations on St. George Street. So we had about 200 children running up and down St. George Street with pirate flags and eye patches and everything else, trying to get their maps taken care of. And then they come back and they receive a big prize. So it was a lot of fun, and we're going to do it this year. And this pepper place is going to be one of the ones we go. So you also went to your favorite place, because you always have to go there.
Oh, I have to go to both the the hot sauce shop because I get stuff there for Bo and his dad. And then I had to go to the little Irish shop because my daughter collects the Irish ragdolls from there. And then we went to Meat House.
Then you went to Mayhem.
Yes.
And you went there for the fries and the curry sauce, right?
Yes. The curry that they have there, the Irish curry, is amazing. So I go there every time I'm out in St. Augustine, and Bo said he was very jealous that I went without him again.
Yeah, isn't that, you just got to go out there and he didn't get to have any. And you could take some back, but I'm sure it wouldn't taste very good once you got back there.
Not at the rate that I would be back. Yeah.
No, not at all. So we spent almost all day. So my son just sent a picture to me on Facebook. It's a picture of him holding the baby. The soothing sounds of the podcast put her out. I'm not sure my voice has ever been known as soothing.
Oh, she might just like listening to Grandpa's voice, and it puts her to sleep.
Well, we're hoping. It's wonderful to have another McCrae in the world. Very good. So let's talk about what we did yesterday. We don't have any of the videos. Oh, everybody saw the new video for the opening of the show. We made those little clips yesterday, and then Davey was able to put them all together into a really nice little opening for the show. I think it looked really good, Davey. You did a good job.
Thank you.
I liked it a lot. Mini Mayhem joined us up on the watchtower.
And in the Pirate Museum.
And he also found his way into being around a couple of mermaids last night, too. So we've got some clips and some pictures of that. A big shout out to our friend Gary Lavelle. He came out to take pictures. Since Mandy was in town, we decided to do some publicity shots that we could use down the road. And then we invited Miss Gina and a couple of the other pirates that have been part of our show or part of the things we do. And we just did a big photo shoot out there. And another good friend of mine, Jeremy, who lives up in Jacksonville, he does the photos for Ancient City Con. And he did Jekyll and Hyde last year, and he showed up to do some photos. He had to leave around 8, but we actually didn't stay much past 8 anyway. But we got some really great pictures out there from everything I saw as it was going. Of course, what I saw and what's on the picture may be two different things. Who knows? But it was a good time out there. Davey, we don't have any of those pictures yet, right?
No.
Now, let me. I'm going to try something. So hold on.
All right.
Jeremy said he loaded them on his website when he gets them done, but I was going to try to play the video.
Here we go. This will give you a little idea. Good job, Davey. There is one picture I sent you, though. Out of the 3 pictures I sent you, what was the other one? Yeah, that one. Anybody know who that is? If you don't, let me tell you. The action shot of the picture should tell you exactly who that is. That is Vanessa Branch. in at least 2 of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, she's the lovely blonde on the dock that gets to slap Jack Sparrow for being a cad. And she was at, this picture came, I just finally got a hold of it last night. This picture came from the Jekyll and Hyde convention last October. And she was one of the guest celebrities there. Her booth was right next to our booth, in fact. And we spent time hanging out. And so with Jeremy, who was there last night, he took this picture. And so we decided to just go ahead and do something fun with that one. And so I got slapped. And there's proof. But that's the great Vanessa Branch. And we're trying to figure out a way to get her on the show soon. So, good picture. Good pictures last night from the 2 photographers. We have not seen them yet, but I am sure that they're going to come out with some really good ones. We got a couple of good videos. We got some shorts that we did yesterday. And we've utilized Mandy's time perfectly. So I think everything's working out just fine. So upon that note, what else you want? Oh, you know what? We were doing other things too today. We were working on the business, right?
Yeah, we were going over a lot of the stuff. I'm going to apologize right now. There's more people on Patreon than I have on the thank you video thing for that later. So I'll get that corrected now that I know.
Davey, we have 13 people on Patreon, not 6.
Oh, okay. Yes, we do.
Yes. So we have, and we're working on both the YouTube membership, which some people have joined, and the Patreon membership, and we're trying to make them pretty copacetic. That's a nice word, right?
Yeah.
We'll use that word. Pretty copacetic, so that it doesn't matter which one you join, but with the Patreon, we have a better way of knowing who's on there and being able to bring you into our after shows with the guests. With the YouTube channel, it's a little more difficult, right?
Well, the YouTube channel, we have an easier way of controlling members only for live views. So the after show automatically can go to members only on YouTube. For the Patreon, we would have to bring them online, or they would get the video in a controlled method on Patreon and they could be able to watch it after the fact. At the moment, it looks like Patreon has turned their system into an own podcasting system. So it's making it a little weird. I did do something very interesting. So if any of you guys are on Patreon, I just streamlined it to the Spotify account and it's got all the podcasts on there now.
That's right. So all of our shows are now, all of them are right to Spotify. We did that this evening too. I say we, I just sat there dumbfounded. I just watched. If it wasn't for this one here and that one in the screen there, I'd be sitting here just talking to myself in a picture screen. I really do depend on them a lot. It's very, very important. Oh, I see Bo just came in. Hello, Bo. Nice to see you. Hi. Yes, Omar. They were great picks. And if we can work it out, if the induction is in St. Augustine, that particular piece of beach, which is about 16, 17 miles south of me, it is the only particular piece of beach in St. Augustine or near St. Augustine that is covered in rocks, big giant rocks. So we got some really great pictures with the rocks and the ocean and everything that went with it. So we may try to work something out. It might be kind of a fun thing for me to set up also. And let's see. So we also did something else, Davey. We are waiting for approval now from Amazon. And if the approval comes through, we have a Merc system now.
Yes.
So we will be offering everybody the opportunity to go to the Amazon Merc division, and they will have our logos, and you can buy any product and have our logos put on it. But I think it's not just any products. We kind of limit what the products are, right?
I think we do have control over the specifics.
Yeah, so we're looking at the things that might sell. For example, T-shirts, hats, cups or mugs. Those kind of things, shot glasses, whatever we.
I like ducks.
And ducks, and we're also looking at ducks to have to give away with our logos also. So we're working on that. So we've accomplished a lot this weekend in 2 days. I think we've done an awful lot. And the only other thing that we've done is has proven that Captain Mayhem knows absolutely nothing about electronics. All of this stuff, and it gets more confusing because it's all tied together. I have Instagram now on my phone. Now I got to figure out what to do with it.
And he can now access the Facebook page that we have for Captain's Quarters. That's the public page. We're going to see if he breaks those next.
Yes, we'll see what happens. I did not realize we had 2 Facebook pages,
Yeah,
but
you-
one's a
one
group
page, yes.
and one's a page. And I didn't realize that. If this was 20 years ago and I had a VCR recorder, the time would never change on it. It's
It's right half the year.
It is. It's right half the year. So yes, I'm learning a lot. So I truly appreciate this. Love new places to take pictures. Bo, when you come down this way, if you make some time to for a day or two early or a day or two later, it might be really worthy of creating an extra activity should the induction be in St. Augustine, to create an extra activity that would be something having to do with photo taking. And that might be a really cool thing that we could do. What did Jim say? I can't put any of these up.
Itsy bitsy polka dot bikinis.
Yeah. And thank you for that, Max, for your input there. He's just agreeing with everybody else that I'm a dunderhead. Planning on coming down. Very good. All right. So I have 2 parts of the weekend that I will probably be working on. So we'll see what we can do. We'll do a feel. My father has.
Said get off my lawn.
Yeah. Well, that's me. I'm going to hike up my pants and tell you to get off my lawn. I've done that before already. So you never know. So you have to go home on Wednesday, Thursday?
I head home Thursday afternoon.
All right. And then, but the next time she'll be out here, believe it or not, will be in at least August.
That's the goal, is to be down here for Tampa, yeah.
There's a, what's the con called in Tampa?
It's the Tampa Comic Convention. It's put on by FanX.
So somehow she finagled 3 passes. So I believe, unless we're bringing anybody else from Utah, that's a pass for me, a pass for Davey, and a pass for Mandy. But if we bring some others in, we have to pay for the other passes. But I'd gladly do that if we have extras with us. So we'll see what happens. How much are the passes, do you know?
I don't remember, but I know that the code they gave us is a discount code, and then Daniel found another discount code too. So
Okay, well, we might have to use it because I'm pretty sure that it'd be fun to take my wife with me.
that's a big convention.
Yes, that is a
Kind
big
of.
convention.
It's not as big as the Salt Lake FanX, but it's kind of up there.
And I've already looked at the one for Tampa, and a couple of the pirates from the live action One Piece will be there. And I'm going to see if I can't do something about some pictures with them that we can that I can show off to all the school kids that I do tours with, because man, all the school kids know all about One Piece. It's a big thing. It really is. And I watched the live action, and it was really worth it. If you've never watched One Piece, the live action is much better, I think, than the cartoon, and mostly because there's like thousands of episodes of the cartoon, and I'm terrible about binge watching, and I don't think I want to sit down and watch all that. So anything else you want to tell the masses, our fans, and our loved ones?
I don't know. If you haven't been out and about, go travel, go see the world. St. Augustine is a little gem in the middle of nowhere that we literally found back in 2019 when me and my team were goofing off because we had a bunch of free flights. We're like, where do we want to go? And
they
found a
came.
pirate museum.
They came to the Pirate Museum, and and then that wasn't the first. That wasn't the time when you came to help us with the event.
Yeah, we came down in August 2019. You got Bo drunk and co-hosted him into letting me come back for my birthday weekend for the Old City Pirate Fest.
That's right.
So yes.
So we had a good time. A good time was had by all. And speaking of Old City Pirate Fest, we're looking at how we're going to do it in 2026. We are trying to make sure that however we do it does not coincide or overlap anybody else's, because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So we'll work on it. I also am looking forward to, I'm going to put this out here, next year's Celtic Festival, because my son and his wife are going to make an effort to come down here, so I get to meet my granddaughter Abigail in person. And I will be carrying her around the festival. My son and his wife can go sit in the tent somewhere. I will carry the baby and brag about her to everyone. So, and by then we're going to have a little kilt made for her. So, Will the historian, you should know what our tartan colors are. One of them is blues and golds and grays, and the other one is reds. I have a red. Your Uncle Dell has the blue, I believe. So we'll have to do something along the way.
Send it to me. The Scottish Festival, one of the vendors there sells baby and toddler kilts at the Scottish Festival in Utah that I'm actually running all the Scottish Highland games for the kids.
Very cool.
So I can go find whatever you're looking for from the vendors there if you need.
July into Virginia, Smith Mountain Lake Pirate Days. You know what? What's the date of that, PJ? Tell me what the date is. I'll write it down right now and I'll look at my calendar. And how many days is it? I think I have something in here to write with. Look at that. I do. Right there. Send me the dates on that if you can right away. Well, I'm watching now. So we are working fast and furious, or I am, as long as they keep up all the electronics and everything else. July 19 through 21. All right, very good. We'll see what we can do with that. Maybe we could drive up and let me look at the mileage and go from there.
I'm gonna write down what it is.
Yes, Smith. What was it? Smith Lake.
It's Smith Mountain Lake.
Smith Mountain Lake. We might have to come up there. Let me see what I can do about that. I'll talk to you later and see what accommodations I need to make to come up there. It might be kind of fun. Do you have live? Live's the wrong word. Do you have period correct encampment? If you do, I can accommodate myself. I believe I may have to bring a helper. So let's see what we can do. All right. I can't think of anything else coming up. We're working fast and furious on some guests for the show, and there's a few people that we can't get them to be here in town, but we will get them. I just had a complete mental breakdown there. We'll get them to stream on yard. I guess the reason is I am watching all the different things here. The Fly War. Oh, what you are, ancient hunting. Yes, okay. We do. Loose Cannon Company is always there. If I have my own tent, will I be allowed to camp in the area with loose cannon? Let me know, or maybe I need to talk to talk to Mr. Willis about that. But maybe I can bribe him with a couple of bottles. We'll see what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, this month is a very slow month at the museum, which means I get to catch up on all the things I have not been able to do since January. So we'll see what we can do. If you have ideas for the show, we'd like you to send them out to us. We'd like you to be a part of the show by giving us your suggestions, your thoughts, and your ideas. We have a really cool video of Mini Mayhem. Think it'll be ready by Monday next week?
Yes.
All right, very good. We'll be showing you Mini Mayhem's encounter with the Watchtower at the Colonial Oak. So, looking at my notes, let's go ahead and get Joke of the Week out of the way. And you're lucky you're sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's time for the answer to the joke of the week. What do you call it when a pirate steals during a storm? The answer is plunder and lightning.
I think he's lucky he's sitting over there. All right. Well, upon that note, we always like to do a couple of things to say thank you to everybody. We are making some changes to these little videos too, but Davey, go ahead. Let's start them all.
The Captain Quarters Podcast is always searching the world for history, knowledge, and adventure. It takes a crew to run a podcast, so we take this opportunity to thank those who help keep this podcast going. The crew: Captain William Mayhem, Navigator Davey Longwood, Cartographer Mandy Joe. Our charities we support: Alias Acres, Humane Society, Inc. The 3 major charities we support, but always room for more. You too could be part of the show and support the show in many ways. Go to Patreon. For a small monthly contribution, become a Powder Monkey or First Mate sponsor. Go to YouTube and hit the like and subscribe buttons to join our ranks and support the show. It does take a crew. Thank you.
Very good, Davey. Very good. What's next? Our numbers. Oh,
Where to find us.
our platforms. That's good too. So, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as our show ends on YouTube, it'll download to all these others: Spotify, Instagram, Twitch, and Facebook. What did we make it so they all went to?
It's on Twitch now.
Yeah.
So it's live on Twitch. The way Twitch system works, I think it holds it for 5 to 7 days. But you can now see the Spotify stream on Patreon.
All right, very good. So if you just want to listen to us, though, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Stitcher, Twitch, Twitter, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So there you are. We're on many channels in many ways. Do we have any numbers, Davey? We don't have any. I do know that our Facebook followers has jumped up to almost 400 right now.
Yeah.
And we're shooting for 1,000 to hit the number 1,000 in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And our Patreon supporters has gone from 6 to 13. All good, positive directions for what we're doing with the show. So, anything else we have, Davey?
Pirate cartoon of the week. I don't know.
There we
We
go.
have a cartoon of the week.
A cartoon of the week. I like that. Very good. So archaeologist, the dog, and the pirate. Archaeologists and dogs excited by bones. Archaeologists and pirates good with maths. Dogs and pirates buries things for later. All 3 of them love digging things up. I love that one. That's a good one. Good one. Yeah, we might have to do that. We got a couple of other ideas for some new events we're going to add to the show. Maybe treasure of the week, something along the lines. And we're going to open up a box, and that might be a good way to get that pepper company involved.
Yeah, Mike says the only place you can get it right now is his shop. That's why I go pick it up there. I literally have a text from Bo. These are the sauces I need you to go pick up at that shop.
That could be a way for them to be a sponsor, and it could be treasure of the week. And then we figure out what to do with them after we have them. That's a good idea. We got to think that one through.
And when Mandy and I were at Mayhem's today, I did try, and I had to say their chips are pretty good.
He did try their hand cut fries down there, or chips. They are amazing that they have there. But I was teasing him that you should go find all the pubs and find out what all their specialty drinks are, and go try all their specialty drinks for a video, because you might enjoy that.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. That would be a good one. I would enjoy that one. We also going to have to do one for Davey. We have to find out all the places that have the best hamburgers.
Ooh, see who's all serving hamburgers and go for it. We did learn, and I don't think Dee's online, but one of the little restaurants down St. George Street does fried green tomatoes, and they were really good. They were doing samples of them on St. George Street today.
Yeah, we had fried green tomatoes last night after the photo shoot. That was one of the orders at Dick's Wings. And the ones at Dick's Wings are good too.
They're good, yeah.
I liked them. So we did a good job. We had a good weekend. Mandy will be leaving tomorrow morning to head over to Orlando for her 2 days of training so she can learn new stuff. And then we will hopefully again see her in August.
If not before then.
I mean,
you might get me in an hour down here.
That'd be fun too. Yeah, we'd like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. All through the month of May, I will be doing public tours in the Pirate Museum every Saturday. Through the summer, starting in June June 23rd, I believe it is. I will be doing public tours on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and I believe Tuesdays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm off on Mondays, I'm off on Wednesday and Thursday. But all the rest of those days, public tours. Come down and see me. If you got family and coming into town or friends coming into town, come on down and see me. And I know Max is going to try to say something again because he's just going to be a butt. And he's coming down and going to the couch. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good show. We appreciate you being here. As you notice, we've taken a more relaxed attitude towards the show a bit here and there. I like it a little bit better. I hope that you do too. And as we throw things into the show, or you throw us your suggestions, we're always open. I have just decided that come Tuesday, when I turn the big 67 on Wednesday, I'm sorry. See, I can't even get the day right. 67 on Wednesday, I am trying to really back off on doing everything without being relaxed. I'm trying to be relaxed about it. So we'll see how it goes. On that note, give Max a big scratch for me. You got it. I may give him a kick in the butt too. All right. So again, those of you that are on the show that are order members now or being inducted, congratulations. Glad to have you in the Brotherhood. Those of you that are on the show with us today and you did not make it, that does not mean that you're anything but still a winner. And there is still more time down the road. Because some of us will die out and then we got to have somebody to replace us. And we always have to have good people to do that. So on that note, I raise my glass because Davey is going to put up our sign out. Go ahead.
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
Always. We can't do it without you. We could, but it's just not as much fun. We enjoy having you here. We enjoy your support. Continue to support us because we've got some other fun things coming up. Talk Like a Pirate Day, Ancient City Con, Spooktacular, all on the horizon, and we want you to be a part of it. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you all next week, 8 p.m., Monday night. Take us on out, Davey.
With wit and charm, they make it clear.